Guys, it's very hot and I don't have a fan. So, let me stop being dramatic. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning. Thank you so much for trusting me. Okay, it's because of you that I'm here today. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to my world. Okay, so guys, okay, first before I start, I just want to ask something, eh? Mara guys, like, why I'm home alone and anyways, Mara guys, why would you watch without liking? Guys, guys, please watch and then like. Or is a video not likable? Okay, if it's not likable, then comment and say, you know what, I loved your sound, but you have to improve way. I love the way you're speaking, but you have to improve way. I don't like where you are seated. I don't like the light. I don't like the video. Just say something, like communicate instead of just watching and then going. But all in all, I'm grateful. Like, I'm really genuinely grateful to you guys for watching my videos and everything like that. I know. No, go outside. Yeah, I'm very much grateful. Okay, so right now I didn't plan to make this video, but I was like, why not? I just got home and I was like, I just sat and I was thinking, it's December and I made it, and God has been good, so good. So I was like, this is a question that most of my subscribers ask me, to say, I think it's because in most of my videos I talk about God, how God has been there for me, how God, I talk a lot about God. So they ask me, tell us about your Christian journey, tell us about your God, tell us about how you did it, especially because of the dramatic life that I live. Anyways, guys, we are about to go to 5k subscribers. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel yet. If you are watching this and you have not subscribed, please go and subscribe. Let's make it to at least 5k before the end of the year. Okay, so let me start. I'm just going to say things out raw. Like, I didn't write anything, I didn't prepare anything, so I'm just going to speak. I'm just going to speak from my heart. Anyways, look at my hair, guys. Look at my hair. Rocking and rolling my hair. So, okay. My Christian journey. First of all, God exists. God does wonders. God is a very great God, and yes, and this Christian journey that I'm still on, is not as easy, but I feel like it's very amazing. Let me tell you the story of how I found Christ. So in 2017, or was it 16, when I was grade 11, remember when I told you about the story of how I had to change schools, how I was paralyzed and so on? I'm sure if you are a returning subscriber, you've watched this video. If you are not, please go back and watch my testimony video. So I got paralyzed. I was at a different school. I got paralyzed. I got sick, and then I had to change schools in the middle of the year. So it was the hardest time of my life, because I had to change schools. I was, I think, going through depression, because my mom was like, she must just be homeschooled. My dad was like, she must just, take a year off and start over next year. Like, it was just a mess. And then when I went into the school, it was in the middle of the year. Like, my first day of school is today. Tomorrow we are writing exams. So it was such a horrible experience. Okay, so that time I was just, I like, depression just took over my life. I was always crying. I attempted suicide. And there was no one to talk to. I feel like my parents would not really understand how I feel. They'll just be like, it's fine, you go back to school. But they didn't understand how bad I really felt. And I felt like it would have been better if my big sister was there, because she was literally my everything, my best friend. We've gone to school, all the schools that I've gone to, we've gone together. And this time I wasn't with her. Okay, grade 11 passes. Oh, come on, really now. Grade 11, the year was grade 11 goes by, and then I was grade 12. So grade 12, the first term was such a hard one, because now, okay, I'm still getting used to people. I'm still healing, and all that. And so it was very, very hard. I swear I could not even focus. Okay, so I didn't do well the first term. I didn't do well, and my dad was disappointed. Like, he was so disappointed. And one thing about my dad that I kind of don't like about him, but it's also funny, which I think is not serious, is when you do something bad, he'll like really use it against you. He'll say things such as, yeah, I told you, what, when he knows he said nothing, when he knows he just had hope in you. But he does that sometimes. So that day he was so angry at me, and he was like, yeah, you didn't even perform well, what's this? I tried to explain it, to say, Daddy, I'm trying my best, trust me, I'll get there, I'll pass, I will pass. Because I'm not to lie, I'm not an A-star student, not probably also a B. I'm just in the middle. Like, I'm in the middle. So I showed my dad the report. I did bad, and I was crying. Like, I cried the whole night. I immediately called my sister. Since I was grade 12, she was in her first year at NAST. I was grade 12 because we're just like this. So when she's grade 1, I'm 2. I mean, when I'm 1, she's 2. Like, Otwira and Dora, like, we're after each other. So yeah, I mean, I called my sister. I cried, and everything, and and then she just told me, you know what, Cisco, give your life to Christ. But first, before that, let me take you back a little bit. When my sister always comes for holiday, she always preaches to us, because okay, she went to university, she met people. Actually, there was a guy in her class, Brother James. If you're watching this, I'm grateful to you. He led her to Christ, and she was doing good. She's still doing good. So he led her to Christ, and so she came to preach the word to us. So when she comes for holidays, for weekends, she preaches the word to us. Okay, good, no problem. After that, that night now that I cried, I called her. I was crying. She said, Cisco, say this salvation prayer and give your life to Christ. So I cried my heart out. She was like, just ask God to forgive you, ask God to be there, like, just and I really did. I said my salvation prayer, and I've never in my whole life felt the Holy Spirit around me. I never felt, when you are praying and you feel it, because I'm not to brag, but I'm a decent girl. How do I say the word? I've always been that girl, man. Like, I always read my Bible, I pray, but not like that, if you understand what I mean. But that day she said, no, pray to God, say this salvation prayer, pray to God, He'll see you through this, Cisco, you got this. And so I did, and I felt it, guys. You will feel it, I swear you will. I felt it, I sang, I prayed, I cried, and I said my salvation prayer. And from that day, never was I the same again. Trust me, I was never the same. I started reading my Bible a lot, in the hostel, I started reading my Bible a lot. I started, building this relationship with God. And my sister gave me this book. I don't have it. I think it's in the north. A book where it starts from the beginning. She explained to me John chapter 3 verse 3, which reads, you'll not see the kingdom of God if you are not born again. So I was like, I'm not gonna go to hell, so I'm gonna get born again, things like that. So I was like, I always read my Bible. I was trying to build that relationship with God, and it was going well, it still is. And then I even became a preacher in class. If you are my grade 12 classmate, you'd attest to this. I used to love Bible study every morning, Bible study. And yes, trust me, I was laughed at. People would laugh at me. I don't want to say anything bad, but if you know this guy, James Omlongo, if you're watching this, you're boying it. Yeah, he's a singer, another one who's saying, Tulimopaka ratata. I'm not downgrading him, I'm just saying that boy, guys, he was such a bully. He was a bully. He was like, yeah, you girl and your God, stuff like that. But you know what? My heart was like so strong. I was like, you know what? I'm going to preach the Bible. I'm going to preach the word. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. And I trusted God, and he walked with me, Shem. Like, he was there for me. And they laughed at me. And there were times where I actually failed a few tests. I mean, it's yeah. And people would laugh at me to say, you are even the one that preaches every time. But now here you are failing. What, who's your guy? But I never gave up. That did not let me down. So, yeah, from there, I never changed. I always prayed, always read my Bible, except I did not have a church to fellowship. So if you grew up in a Bambo home, you know that most black parents don't believe in revival churches. They don't believe in Oshiveva. Yeah. So we were raised going to LC or Anglican, or what is that other one? Or Catholic. That is us. But I think the more I started understanding the word, I was like, this is boring. I'm sorry for saying it, but I was just like, because being a grade 12 learner, or let me say, being in high school from grade 8, which you are trying out things, man. Like when you see friends, some are going to revival churches, some are going to, you're like, yeah, I want to come with you today. So we experience all those things. And I must say, guys, I love revival churches. It shakes you. It just, the way we praise. I've got joy. Like you're really praising God. I'm not trying to compare churches or whatever, but that's just how I feel about revival churches. So, my parents really never allowed us to go to revival churches. Never. They didn't like it. I mean, most black parents would not allow that. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna pray to my God. I think the thing that matters the most is the relationship with God. And just because, someone is a Christian doesn't mean that they don't face challenges. They do. The Bible has written in a few scriptures that I'll put on the screen about challenges will come, challenges will come, but God will put us through them, So yeah. So I continued. Guys, I think I'm confusing you guys now. Okay, so my sister preached that night, gave my life to Christ, and everything was good. And then I kept praying. I would pray midnight. I would pray all the time. I would pray, make my Bible study, and then I passed my second term, passed my third term, passed very, very well. Oh God, he's good. I came to university, got admitted, university life, and all was great, my first year. And yeah, so I was living with my aunt. And thank God she also used to go to revival church. Although we used to go to different churches, okay? But she was always there, like to sing with us, to help us read the word, to encourage us, imagine if I was in a household, or I would be living with an aunt or uncle that does not believe in revival churches. It was going to be hard, but I was living with an aunt. Okay, so from there, I finally went to church. I was like, girl, like I asked my sister, where are you fellowshipping? Like, where do you fellowship? Where is the church? And then she took me to Life Changing Christian Church. It's a church in Ventum, Cathedral, where I finally went to. And I've never felt so great, so happy, so much appreciated by God. Like I just felt good going to the church. And that day they said, you know, altar calls. If you go to rival churches, you know that they make an altar call. So they're like, yeah, no, if you're not born again and you want to give your life to Christ, now is the time. Come in front and give your life to Christ. And I did that. I was like, shamelessly, I was like, I know I did this by myself, but I'm gonna go anyways. I walked to the altar, and I remember a song that they were singing that day. Let me try to sing it. Just allow him to touch you. You'll never be the same again. Just allow him to touch you. You will never be the same. Yeah. So I don't know, guys, don't judge me for my singing, but that's a song that they sang and I felt it. You know, I was like, let me give my life to Christ, because I know I'm not the same. I mean, I felt a certain way the day that I personally made that decision alone, and today let me just make that. Sorry guys, I'm such a crybaby. Okay, I was like, let me do it. Let me give my life to Christ, because why not? So I went and I said my salvation prayer, and I was really not the same again. So the journey kept going on, and trust me, I was being tested. The devil kept on testing me. The devil kept on testing me. Yo guys, the devil kept on testing me. But when I was my first year, when I gave my life to Christ, I gave my life to Christ for real. As in, I had to delete the worldly songs. I had a boyfriend that time. I left him. I was like, you know, I preached to him and I told him, it's either you follow Christ with me, or, you know, we can just, same. I told my best friend the same. Well, thank God my best friend came with me to Christ, and today I feel like that's the best friendship, the best friend God has ever given me. Yes, so there I was. My life was great. I would go to church every Sunday. Like, I don't miss church, because I wanted to know the word. I understood also that, you know, it's not always about, it's not church that makes you a Christian just because you go to church every Sunday, come on, no. It's the relationship between you and God. The relationship between you and God. And that is what matters to me. But I have to go to the temple of God, to church, so I can learn more about him. God, scriptures. Yo guys, my life was also going just great. You know, everything was going great. Challenges would come, but you know, I just got my knees, poor gone. So yeah, and then the devil started testing me more, worse. So later, okay, my first year was fine. I was staying with my aunt. My aunt was a little bit strict, so it was not like, you know, it was just, yeah. So one day, you know, university life, you could be having tests, assignments, and tired. So you can come from school and you're literally exhausted, so you just come on the bed and then sleep, you know. And sometimes you don't have time for stuff. And it was only the three of us, my aunt, my sister, and I. And so, you know, when I get time, I would obviously clean, but the house is was not always steady because just the three of us. No one stays home. My sister goes to school, I go to school, my aunt goes to work. We just meet after work. I mean, after school. So, God, I don't know if I should say this, but you know what? I'm gonna say it anyways. So my aunt, like I said, was a bit strict. She just started, you know, calling the parents and telling them, no, Cisco misbehaves, or like, let me say, your kids are misbehaving. They don't clean, they don't cook, they don't what. But I thank God that my parents, they know us. They know the kind of kids we were. I mean, we grew up in a household where we were free, as in like my parents were not strict, but we did, like, we adhered to the rules. Like we never like took advantage of those things, like drinking, because I think we're decent girls. We're just good girls, not too bad. But yeah, so she started telling my parents that, and I'm like, dog, in the weekends I hardly even go anyway. I'm always home unless I have assignments. I clean when I can, I cook when I can. You know, it's just busy lives. Sometimes you get so busy with school that you get tired, and you know, I'm tired, I sleep. My sister's tired, we sleep. Tomorrow is another day because you are tired from school. Yo guys, you know you never guys. But yeah, she told her that. But what helped me most is I used to go to basketball, right? I played basketball in university, and so I would sometimes, and I was a part-time student, so sometimes what I would do is after class I just change into my basketball clothes or go to class with my basketball outfit, and then go to the court. Because I was schooling at NAST, my aunt's place was like a minute away from school, so I was like, you know, there's nothing that I'm going to do home. There was no TV, there was nothing, so there's something I'm going to do home, so let me just stay at school, then I go home anytime because I can just walk, it's close. I would come home at night with my ball, but my aunt would tell my parents that go to clubs. I'm just like, what? I mean, that's not even my life. I hardly ever go to any club. Even before I met Christ, nothing. Like, that's just me. I just go out here and there, maybe sometimes when friends are like, yeah, so that hurt me, because how can I go to clubs, bruh? Like, who goes to clubs with a basketball? Okay, maybe it's wrong that I come home at night, but you know, because of all those things that my aunt was saying, that house became depressing. I was sad. It became so bad that every time that I have to go home, I'm just like, oh, no, you know. So I just played basketball because it was my hobby. Played basketball at the court, even if I was alone, and then come back home. And then it got worse. My aunt started even saying the worst things ever. There was a day I slept over at my classmate's house. We were doing assignments, and I would text her to say, you know, auntie, I'm sleeping over. We thought we'd finish, but it's like literally 2 a.m. and we're not done, and I won't get cab, so I'll just come home tomorrow morning. She wouldn't eat my food. She wouldn't, you know, she'd just say, like, I don't know where you came from and stuff. Like, it felt so bad. It became so depressing in that house. So I was like, I lost it, guys. Can't blame me. I lost it. I was so depressed. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I would do anything to make sure I'm out of the house. Yes, I would pray, cry. Like, I feel like I would say I never backslided. To say, because I feel like backsliding is when you're like, God, no. But I got out of the way, but never forgot where my heart is. I would pray. There are times where, you know, we would go over to, you know, anywhere, and we sleep over with friends, and even if we sleep at 4 a.m., home girl made sure that by 9 she's at church, no matter what it costs. By 9 you're at church. And I was just like, that's where my home is, girl. I would still pray, I would still cry out to God. I was just lost. I lost it. I was lost, and unfortunately there was no one to guide me. And my poor sister also tried her best, but I was like, mm-mm. So yeah, it's during that time that I met a guy and ended up falling pregnant. Oh God, I hate saying it. Yeah, and if you watched my video of how I found out I was pregnant, you'd know what you'd see, that at the beginning day I said I went on my knees and I asked God. I was like, God, this is not me. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I ended up in this situation, but I am going to trust you. Please lead me. Let me make the right decision. Let God. And God is a good God, guys. God forgives. He said that in the Bible. I'll put the scripture on the screen. He said that, come to me. I think it's Isaiah chapter 1 verse something. Come to me as you are. No matter what your past has nothing to do with whatever. I will forgive you and I'll make you pure white as snow. I'll renew. And that is true. Because guys, if I tell you how many times I went back to my God and he took me back, you won't believe. But yes. So yeah, I asked him and they said, oh God, he has been there for me and my daughter. He has been there for me during my pregnancy. He has been there for me even now. My child is now 3 years old, imagine. He never ever left my side. And I think that is why I personally don't give up on God, because the devil will test you. Things will happen, you know. You just make sure you know where your heart belongs. You just make sure you know where your heart is supposed to be, and that is me. So, you know, I never doubted him. Even if I lost my way, I always go back to him. And I don't try to do things on purpose. Never. It's yeah. And I kept on trying my best. I lose my way sometimes, but I always come back. And when I mean lose my way, is not as in I give up on God and be like, who's God? Never. Me, I'll always pray. Me, I'll always read my Bible when I can, even when the devil is like, yeah. And I always seek for help from my brothers from church, from my pastor. I always will. I always do. And however, although I can say things somehow changed when I had my baby, the devil has been testing me a lot. He has been testing me a lot. But I'm grateful that God never gave up on me. He always carried me in the palm of his hands. Like, he never ever left my side, not even once. Yeah, so I was like, no, you know, I go to church, and no matter how many times my parents would, you know, say don't go to church, don't want, I prayed about it, and eventually they're like, okay. And now they don't go on anymore. They know I go to revival church. Guys, Oshiveva is life. Oshiveva is life. Because from Oshiveva, I learned how to pray, as in pray. Of course, I knew how to pray, but just the prayer, God, come sleep with us, God, come. But now, ask me to make a prayer for you. I will pray. And praise, worship, feel like the relationship between me and God, just, it never ever went back. It never ever went back. So yeah, until now, to just make it short, since you're asking me my Christian journey, you know, it was hard, still is. It's not easy, but one thing I know for sure is God will take you back as you are. God will never look at your past. God will never forsake you. He will always be there. He will always be there. And Challenges will be there, but God will help you overcome them. You just go on your knees. You just take those scriptures. You just take that Bible. You just take those prayers, and then you hit the devil. Hit the devil, and you're back to track. You're back on track. And I can say God has been so great to me. And right now, to be honest with you, I would say I want to go back to the girl that dumped my grade 12 boyfriend. I want to go back to the girl that preached in front of the class. Because, to be honest with you, I don't think I'm that girl anymore. After the whole anti-story. But I'm still girl. I'm still that girl. I go to church. I pray to my God. I fast. I trust my God 100%. I trust him so much. But I just want to go back to that girl. And the devil is testing me so much. But you know what? Me, I call myself God's favorite child. I call myself God's favorite child because he never left my side. He was always there for me. And he still is here for me. So, and I know I'll go back there. I know I'll go back there. I'm a move mountains, man. And that is how my Christian journey is. I'm still reading my Bible. And people would judge you to say, like when I felt pregnant, I was judged. We're like, she's even in churches, but she felt pregnant. She's even what, but she what. But those comments didn't really get to me because I serve a living God, oh, even the devil knows. Say not true. Oh. I serve a living God, oh, everybody knows. Say now you the rain. I serve a living God. I don't care what whoever says. I will continue to serve God. I would say I'm a Christian, but I'm not perfect. You'd never actually find a perfect Christian in this world. Never. But I'm glad that I found Christ. I'm glad that I trust God. I'm glad that I have a relationship with him. And I'm glad that I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not ashamed. If you go, I just know slowly but surely, I'm just, I'm here. And I love it for me. I really love it for me. So, yeah, that is my Christian walk with Christ, I just trust God. I know he'll always be here for me. I know he'll never leave my side. And same, I'll never ever give up on my God. I never even have, ever had a thought of backsliding to go God, no, let me go back to the world. Never. I might have messed up. No one is perfect. Not even born again Christians, not even pastors. Nobody is perfect. And I also want to let people know that if you go to Elsin, it's fine. If you go to a Shiveva, it's an Anglican, it's okay. It's your choice. But the most important thing is not church. It's your relationship with God. Your relationship with God. And if you want to know more about him, you read your word. You worship, praise him, So I actually decided to make this video because I'm so grateful that I made it from January to December, and this year has been such an amazing year. I did so many great things. So many great things happened to me. God carried me, and I'm telling you that I have not been where I am is not where I was in January. To be honest with you, I didn't have this cute closet in January. I didn't have, I grew. So I'm very much grateful for that. So yeah, if you have more questions about my Christian life, my Christian journey, then you can ask. But all I can tell you is all the answers are in the Bible. Every answer is in the Bible. And I try my best to make sure that I associate myself with Christian-like people, as in I try to join Bible studies with different people. I try to talk about Christ with people, I just, because I want to get there, and I know I will. So guys, my advice to you before I end the video is trust God. Grow a relationship with God. Read His Word and you learn everything. But trust Him, find Him, and build that bond, that relationship with Him. Trust me, all will be well. And for it's like today you cry, tomorrow God will just be like, girl, get up. Boy, hello. Did you forget who you are serving? You know, that is what God kept reminding me of this year every time I dropped a tear. But I'm grateful. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Probably a vlog, because I want to definitely upload at least 1 more or 2 videos before the end of the year. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please do subscribe, like, comment. Please comment guys, comment, share, yeah, and God bless you.